For the last 30 years, the C-SPAN archives have been recording, indexing, and archiving public affairs programming 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. When the operation started at Purdue in 1987, it was hard to imagine the impact it would have today. With nearly 238,000 hours of video content in the library, the C-SPAN archives has essentially become a video record of American history.
We started in September of 1987. It came about from a discussion of a number of faculty at Purdue University and Brian Lamb, the founder of C-SPAN, about how all the material that C-SPAN telecasts, which was primary source material, wasn't being preserved. So we came up with the idea that we ought to preserve this for research and education. We operated in a very small room in Stewart Center, and we had a lot of help from the university in terms of putting up satellite dishes. There were only 2 networks at the time, C-SPAN and C-SPAN 2. That summer had been the Ollie North Iran-Contra hearings, and we were so much aware of this new material coming in that we wanted to capture. As soon as the Bork nomination went to the Senate, we said, well, we have to get started here.
I have known Judge Bork since the mid-1960s, when he was a distinguished
We put the rest of the equipment in place, and in October of 1987, we've been recording on 2 networks, and then years later, we added a 3rd network for C-SPAN 3.
We're an off-air archive, so we record video the same way that the public might see it, so off of the cable or satellite signal, and we record that. We have a 24/7 recording of the 3 networks. I think from the very beginning, Dr. Browning first started the archives. One of the things that he did that was very important was started using databases right away, and he and the catalogers came up with a way of cataloging the video that we still use today.
C-SPAN has automated itself more and more over the years, and we get a schedule from C-SPAN and we get some basic information, but the 3 indexers write descriptions of all the programs. They've written 10 million words over the years. It's a matter of database fields, keyword tags, and textual descriptions. In addition to that, we use, and have for, say, 25 years, used closed captioning, which is for the hearing impaired, but that gives us words by time for everything spoken. In the early days, if I said, oh, Ollie North testified and he's in this 6-hour hearing, you would have to look yourself through that 6-hour hearing. Today, we get you right to the point where he raises his hand and takes the oath of office, because we can search on Colonel North, please raise your hand. From 1987 to 1998, we were part of Purdue University. Then in 1998, we became part of C-SPAN. It put us on a very solid financial backing. It gave us the kind of equipment that we needed for the changes that were going to come.
In the beginning, the files were all recorded on VHS, and they were archived as tape. And then when we switched to digital in 2002, and then the next year started digitizing those tapes.
It was a 2-pronged process to convert to digital. One was to put in digital equipment to do the new recording, so it came in digitally and there were no more tapes. And then the second part was to play back all the old material. We had 120,000 hours in real time that we had to play back. It took between 3 to 5 years.
We've got a very well-developed search engine, and you can use that to search our tags or categories. It really provides a way for people to access this content that might not have been available. There might be somebody that'll show up on the national stage next week, and then they'll find some video from them on C-SPAN from 1993.
We don't know who's the next president going to be in 8 years. And those people are in the collection, maybe as members of Congress, senators, governors, and it's a good way to keep a record of American history.
It's never before been available that you can watch the whole political process in the United States from day to day to day that you can watch that years from now. And I think the student is going to be the one, whether it be in high school, because we have a lot of active high school students that use our product, or in college, people studying political science, government, or whatever, or just interested citizens, that they'll be able to go back and compare what happened years ago with what's going on in their lives today.
I think it's a great resource for us at Purdue, particularly if you want to go and see the physical facility, but that it's something that every instructor, professor, teacher could use in their classrooms.
Dr. Robert Browning, director of the C-SPAN Archives, accepts the Peabody Award.
This award recognizes 24 years of hard work by a current and past staff and who work in West Lafayette, Indiana, watching, recording, and indexing every program on the network.
Well, there is nothing like the C-SPAN Archives. There just is not anything like it, specifically when you're looking at issues of politics and public policy.
There's no other archive which is as large and accessible as the C-SPAN Archives. The Library of Congress refers people to our collection for the House and Senate, even though they have the same tapes, because we have them online and we have them indexed.
What if Robert Browning had not had the foresight to say, what are we doing here? We have to be saving this stuff. I think that it has a place in the future tied to Purdue that we may not even know yet.
Recently, the Brian Lamb School of Communication launched a Center for C-SPAN Scholarship and Engagement in order to expand the use of the archives, engage more researchers, and identify student learning opportunities. For more information, you can visit the links on your screen. That'll wrap up this edition of Boiler Bytes. Remember that you can catch up on all our past stories at boilerbytes.com. See you next time.